I am here with Dan Pink, author of so many wonderful books. Today, I want to delve into win in terms of the context of what we're going to talk about now. Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Can you teach syncing? So you gave the use case there. If we were applying this in terms of, an MBA class or any sort of business class, how would we teach this concept of belonging when you have people of different backgrounds, different agendas?
It's a great question, and it's a complicated question. I'm not sure whether we teach it or whether we create the conditions where it can flourish. And I think it's the latter. So how do we foster belonging? So it could be, so let's be specific. I love the example. Let's take an MBA class. So one way to foster belonging in an organization in a very I don't want to say it's mundane, but it's very simple, is are you at a meeting, and you're leading the meeting, and are you ensuring that everybody says something? So if someone is quiet, not saying something, that could be a sign that he or she feels like he or she doesn't belong, that he or she doesn't feel quite connected to things. Make sure that person says something. Belonging is fostered by that. Belonging can be fostered by a shared sense of purpose. So does everybody know why they're doing things rather than what it is they have to do? So one technique I like, again, we're going to be very specific for this management team. Okay, for your MBA students here. So we're going to say, you're running a meeting, foster belonging by making sure everybody is heard from. And if somebody's not heard from, ask them a question. Another thing you can do to foster belonging is make sure that people know the purpose of what they're doing. One of the techniques that I've used for years now is that I always try to have twice a week, when I find myself having a how conversation with someone, I turn it into a why conversation with someone. So if I say like, okay, how can we, I'm working on a video. I did this today. So I'm working on a video, making some changes on a video. And instead of saying, okay, here's how to do it. Put the graphic here, put the graphic here. I finally realized, wait a second, here's why I want to put a graphic in. And it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. So have two fewer conversations about how, two more about why. Go ahead.
How can you spread that as behavior? I love that. Go from the how to the why. Is that, and I'm thinking about spreading it as a behavior. If you're looking across a department, for example, if you're looking across an entity or organization, is that something that we can spread? Is that scalable? Is that something that you just have to do in earnest where you are and hope that you are being an example? How can that be scaled?
It's a great question. And I think there's not a single way to do that. I think part of it is that is establish a practice yourself as a leader. That's very important. And I think that in many cases, leaders discount, they overstate how much people listen to them and understate how much people watch them. So if people see you doing this thing, then there's a fighting chance that they're going to adopt it.